Welcome everyone. This is training session number 2. We are joined today with Tamer and Sayed. Hopefully, maybe others will join later. For now, we are going to start this session by discussing actually some points regarding the competition questions, meaning that we want to figure out the most proper way of solving the KCPC competition question. When we have a question, we want to agree on the certain steps that we are going to take in order to properly figure out the question and solve it in a systematic way. Okay, meaning that let me actually start by showing you the document that I'm preparing. I'm preparing a cheat sheet. It's not a cheat sheet. It's more like, in the competition, you're allowed to bring any printed papers or any printed materials with you. Okay. So I think this is going to be our document. I'm going to share it with everyone, and everyone will have edit access as well. So we can all contribute and add bits and pieces here and there. You can add functions. Functions are reusable codes. We are going to learn about them later, inshallah. You can add examples. You can add notes for you during the competition. You can add anything here, okay? But let's try to keep the structure in organized way, okay? So this is, we can say, the steps that I came up with that we can use to solve the competition question, okay? So the first step is that once we receive the paper, and I want your feedback here سيد, okay? Because your feedback is very valuable. يعني بدي أنا رأيك لأنك أنت ما شاء الله يعني مشارك سنتين ورا بعض في المسابقة، فعندك معلومات قيمة في هذا الموضوع. So the first step is to skim all available problems and determine the category. And since we are not aiming to win as much as we are aiming to solve as much as we can. يعني one problem, two problems, three problems. I think this is our target. يعني. And I specifically picked these categories, and hopefully يعني the KCPC problem set will contain at least 2 or 3 of these problems. Okay. So skimming is basically going through the problem, just reading it overall, not in detail. And there are certain keywords. From these keywords, you figure out that this problem is trying to take this direction or this direction. Okay. For me, the problems that I thought will be easier to solve, ad hoc problems. Ad hoc problems are just a simulation of a process. Give you a real life example. And we have apples, and these apples are trying to be divided by, for example, these two persons. It's like a story. Okay. Most of the problems are story based, but this one is like more straightforward, and like you can tell, it is to be solved without even using one of the advanced algorithms. Okay. So this is one of the type of problems we are trying to solve, ad hoc. Searching and sorting. Searching and sorting are, you can say, safe. Safe in a way that once we, because I'm going to add many ready-made functions. Okay. I'm going to add many functions to the cheat sheet. So this way, if we face a searching and sorting algorithm, what we need to do is just copy-paste the code into our editor and use the ready-made function, and hopefully this will speed up the process and the testing of this kind of problems, okay? Basic mathematics also, it is common that you'll have some counting, some mathematical operation, or notation, area calculation, okay? I'm going to try to include as many formulas as possible for these kind of problems, okay? String manipulation is a very famous kind of problems also. string manipulation, maybe at least there will be two problems in the competition. String manipulation is like they will give you a string, and we need to replace these two characters, or tell me if this string can be read backward the same way or not. Or I mean, it is string based. You will have a string and you need to perform some manipulation on it. This is also, I consider it safe to some extent, because we have actually in Python, we have many built-in functions ready to be used for string manipulation, and I'll show you examples of it. So I think
One
yeah.
of the good reasons why people use Python, because it has easier libraries than C++.
Yes, yes. Actually, this is one of the main reasons. Yani, also, I wanted to use it because we are not yet to the level where we can build our own libraries in C++. Yani,
Yes,
or
true. Mr.
functions.
Anas,
Yes,
Mr. Anas, I just remember there was a problem that we once had.
yes.
They wanted us to write a code that calculates how many duplicate letters in a sentence.
We have a function for it. I prepared the function. Okay.
Okay.
But I prepared remove duplicates. But you want to count the duplicates, right? Count vowels,
Yes.
count
Yes.
substring. I think this.
So yes. So let's say there is like four words that has mixed characters between A, B, C, and D. Okay. So the code wants us to calculate how many A's and B's and C's and D's.
Okay, nice. Thank you for letting us know. I'm going to look online for a ready-made snippet and test it and add it to our list of functions. This is actually good feedback. Thank you. Okay, so this is for string manipulation. Simulation is also another type that is similar to ad hoc. Actually, I should have removed it because ad hoc is simulation basically. And basic data structure. Basic data structure meaning that they will tell you exactly. Yani array is this. You can tell that you need maybe an array, and that array you need to convert it to something another simple. We need to practice to figure out these kinds, and this is my target. For me, I'm going to focus. So forget the graph, forget advanced algorithms, forget all the other types, anything with visual representation. I think we are going to skip it. As long as it belongs to one of these, I think we are going to go for it full speed and try to solve it in the correct way. Not as fast as possible. We are not focusing on speed at all. We are focusing on, we have 5 hours. Let us try to finish 2 problems correctly. If we have time, let us finish the third. This is for me the perfect target, to be honest. Okay. So this is skimming and picking the problem. After selecting the problem, the second criteria is to select the problem with the smallest input size. The problem, each problem will have a different input size, and I think maybe you noticed this, the 10 to the power of 9, 10 to the power of 6, okay? So if we, for example, found 2 similar problems, let us pick the one with the smallest input size. If it's only one, then we have no option but to solve it. Okay? So this is the second criteria. The third criteria is to select something again with known algorithm. Known algorithm to whom? To us. Okay, that means we have prepared something in our cheat sheet that can solve this problem almost instantly. Okay, so this will of course depend on how many algorithms we can prepare. Okay. Third, of course, before we start the process, the solving process, we brainstorm. Okay, we brainstorm. Is this the algorithm that's actually going to solve this problem? We sit together before we start writing the code, agree that the category, the input size, and the knowledge that we collected is all, we are all on the same page. We all agree that these are the inputs, and these are the boundaries of the problem, and these are the algorithms that are going to help us solve the problem. And there are no hidden tricks here and there. Once we agree, then we move on to developing the initial solution. That means we start copying the code. We have code ready. We start writing. Of course, for me, when it comes to the team structure, I can see that two active members that are going to be, we can say, in talk at all times, and one third member that is going to plan for the next problem. Okay, what do I mean by that? The two active members are going to be actually pair programmers. There's the driver and there is navigator. The driver is going to do what? He's going to type the code. The navigator is going to sit back and chat, basically chat with, as he's typing, he's going to direct him, navigate. Okay, like when you are driving a car, there's a driver who's driving, and someone maybe handling the Google Maps app, okay, telling you go right and go left. Okay, so this way, I think there will be no conflict. These two will need to understand each other, and the third guy, he can like monitor the conversation at the same time, plan for the next problem. Okay, so the next problem, when these two guys are done with the first problem, that guy he has already prepared the outline for the next problem, and they can start what? The execution. I feel this is, it's going to be the ultimate combination for our team. Of course, we need to agree who's going to be the driver, who's going to be the navigator, and who's going to be the planner. Who's going to keep preparing and maybe call the judge, handle some other logistic areas. Okay. After developing the initial solution, we need to test it, of course, verify it produces the expected output. We need to optimize. If we feel that the program is running slowly, the execution time is slow, we need to try to optimize the algorithm. Okay. If we feel that the solution is sufficient, then we are going to finalize the code, try to test any edge cases, and submit. Straightforward. I think most of the work actually is done here in these two steps, the first two steps. Skimming is going to take some time actually. I believe not less than 15 minutes, 20 minutes of just skimming, just reading. We don't touch the keyboard even, because rushing to the keyboard is, I think it's going to be a mistake. Okay. Again, I don't care about speed. We have, alhamdulillah, 5 hours is more than enough to solve two problems, I believe. Okay. So for me, solving two problems correctly is better than trying to solve 5 or 6 and we end up with penalty or any other negative outcome. Okay. So this is the plan that I prepared. Hopefully, this guideline, of course, it's up for discussion. If I missed a step, we need to add another step. This document is going to be available. Okay. As I mentioned, I prepared some string functions because this is the most familiar for me. Okay. String manipulation is actually one of the problems that I started solving. So I prepared some string functions: reverse, count word, capitalize, anagrams, okay, and so on and so forth. And we'll keep adding, okay, as many as we want. Then I prepared some like topics that I'm going also to focus on. Actually, this I got it from the internet. I searched what are the most common algorithms that are used in the ICPC competitions, and this list showed up, and I'm going to try to get functions for each of these topics, okay? And then finally, I prepared what? A template. This template is actually, we're going to use it directly in the code. Like before even we start solving anything, we need to import these libraries. We need to define these because using the input function, by the way, is not recommended. There is an input function in Python. For now, while training, we can use it, no problem. But actually in the competition, it is recommended to use the system stdin because it is faster and there is actually some limitations for the input. Okay. So these actually these functions confirm with the competition style. Okay. In addition, some constants, some math functions. These data structure are not needed. I'm going to remove the graph actually. This graph function, we don't need it anymore because we're not going to focus on graph at all. Okay. And this is the main function. So this template, yani, we're going to write it directly. The driver will start writing this template in the IDE, copy it, and keep it in a notepad. Okay. So when the next problem is coming, we just copy it and paste it again. Okay. And by the way, it's very short, yani, but it needs some cleanup. I'm going to clean it up later. Then I prepared what? This is the cheat sheet. These are all like ready-made stuff we can use directly. And this is cheat sheet. That means I forgot how can we reverse list. This is how we reverse the list. We define the list and then we use the reverse function. How can we remove an item from the list? This is how we remove an item. How
Do you super?
yeah, sure. Okay. How can we use dictionaries? This is how we use dictionaries. Conversion, casting to float, to integer, to Boolean, and so on and so forth. String formats, string functions, and you can see there are many built-in functions. Lower, split lines, replace, which is excellent. Replace with occurrences, slicing the string, okay. Range functions. Range is a very nice built-in function in Python actually. Sets, okay, regular expressions. We are going to go through all of these. And this is what I have prepared so far. Of course, it's not ready, but it is not meant to be ready. Keep adding to it until the day of the competition. So I'm going to actually share it with you as soon as possible, inshallah. And I'll give right access to everyone so they can add their functions or their points. And it's not necessary to add only Python code, okay? You can add C++, you can add Java, whatever you are going to use for the competition, add it here. Okay, so in the end, we just print this document and take it with us in the competition, inshallah. In the practice day, it's going to, I think we are going to test the water. Maybe we'll find that this document is lacking something in the practice day, so we can upgrade it further on, and so on and so forth. Okay. So this is the part that I was talking about, Sayyid. Yani, this is, I think it's language agnostic. It doesn't care if it's Python or if it's C++. These functions,
Yes,
I think
yes.
most of them we can create in
The
C++.
idea behind it, basically, if you can translate that to any language, basically, it's enough. You only need to know the technique
Exactly.
on how to write it down.
Exactly. So, for example, we can have, this is the Python version of substring occurrences, and we can create the C++ version.
Yes.
Still doing the C++.
I think, yeah, some of us are going to still use it. Okay, which is, it's not a problem as long as the team agrees. Okay, for your team, Tamer, I think it's going to be Python. Okay. For the other teams, I'm not sure. Okay, and we'll, inshallah, we'll
Make 2 dots. Copy
the structure.
the first points. إيه، بس الفانكشنز والكلام هذا يكون غير.
We can.
Do
It's actually, it's a drive folder actually. Going to be a drive folder because I included also this document, programming team strategies. It's going to be
separate dots.
Okay.
C++ and one for Python.
okay. No problem. We can say context doc Python, and we can add another one. No problem.
Printed.
So it will not be confusing. Okay, no problem. No. Okay, Sayed, now I want your feedback regarding your experience with the previous competition. Anything you want to share with us that might be Yeah, we can take notes now. We can add it to the documents.
Okay.
and enrich it
Yes.
later.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
please.
Yes. Number one, books are bad. Don't
Books,
get books. Don't get books.
it will confuse
Okay.
the
Try
process.
try as much as possible to get the techniques of codes on how to do a function. For example, Mr. Anas, you remember the thingy that I just told you about the duplicates
Yes.
just now? Okay. I just remembered another one that came 2 years ago. Let's say, for example, I have 4 words. Okay. Let's say, for example, I'll type it down in chat. Okay, so you can check it out. Okay, so let's say, for example, I have a B C C D D C C A A B. Let's say B A A. For example.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I remember something coming like this. Write a code that actually calculates the non-duplicate letters and the opposite. So let's say, for example, if A is duplicated, so it counts A as 1. So it's A is the duplicated. B, it checks speed. Is B duplicated on the whole thing or no? C is duplicated or no? B, yes. But let's say, for example, there was a code that comes the opposite also. So it's a two-kind code. It calculates each letter that is duplicated, a condition that if the letter is duplicated, it calculates it and counts it, and if the character is not duplicated, it calculates it. So you could use it in both ways.
So okay, I see your point. So the duplicate characters and the unique.
Yes.
Okay, actually, this is fun to do in Python. We have multiple built-in functions that we can use, if I remember correctly. By the way, Python, it reads strings as a list of characters. So anything that you can perform on a list, you can perform on a string. This is one of the cool things about Python. So one of the things that you can do with a list actually is you can convert a list to a set, and the set only contains unique values. So the moment you convert a list to a set, you immediately grab the unique characters. But that doesn't mean also that you are counting them. But يعني I'm just okay. we can figure it out يعني without even using any of these advanced functions. Okay, nice. Okay, do you have any other?
No, this one should be easy.
Okay, great. This is nice. Do you have any other examples?
Wait, give me a sec. Let me
Yeah.
check. Because I remember it was VJudge.
By the way, I found this website. I shared it with. I don't think I shared it on Teams yet. Let me go to Teams. And by the way, I'm adding links to Teams here in this post. You can you're added to Teams. Okay, you'll find one huge post that is pinned called official ICPC resources, and I keep adding links to it. Yani whenever I find.
I don't get this notification.
Really? I need to keep. They teach competitive programming courses in college, in university, in Stanford University. Do you believe that? They have they have a course for it. They have a course, Introduction to Programming Courses. CS97. Very interesting. And I found many things. It's full of PDF files. So I'm going to.
Okay. Mr. Anas, I have. Okay, I'm still in the group. Okay, last year we went into a special boot camp from Egypt, from Code Academy.
Nice.
Okay, and I'm still added in that group that had all the questions if you want to check them out.
Wallah, amazing. That would be great.
Okay,
Did you share
okay,
the link
wait.
or in chat or?
I'll send you the link and username also, so you
Okay,
could log in.
Thank you.
Okay, so go into this.
And I found, of course,
The username.
the official Python documentation is excellent also.
Okay, I sent you the username and website, so you could log in.
Okay, you sent it where? Because I don't want to record it.
And in the Google. No, it's fine, it's fine.
Okay, really? Sure.
Yeah, it's fine, it's fine. Yeah,
Okay.
log in. I want you to log in, Enes. Go inside
right
and log in.
now. Okay.
It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Uh, virtual judge.
On top right. Top right. Okay, so when you log in,
Yes.
go at the top space, you're gonna find groups.
Yeah.
Okay, then level 1, class 3,
Nice. Okay.
uni level. Okay, and then in the middle, all these are 15 questions of a certain amount of subject in front of you.
Hmm.
So
Strings, arrays.
go to the final graduation contest. Final graduation contest. Yes. You're gonna find here, basically the same way in the tournament. The questions come the same way in the tournaments from A to P, and each of them is a
Yeah.
question, and each question is like on a certain level. So there, some of them are easy, some of them are hard.
I see.
And VJudge basically takes questions from all the other website like Be Crowded and stuff like that. So you press on the title, let's say for example,
Which one?
cocktail list. Yeah,
Okay.
yes. Go into this one.
I see.
So this is the questions.
Nice. Very nice.
Exactly like this. The questions will come exactly like this
And
on
we
paper.
can submit
for
and
the
it will
tournament.
judge for us.
Yes.
Amazing. Okay. Nice. Nice. Okay. Great. I think we will try at least to solve 4 or 5 of these.
Yes.
But
If you
no,
want,
no.
you could actually go.
No, during this week.
If you,
Yes.
if you want, if you go back to the groups, you could start like by level. So go back. Yeah, go back one more. Yes, go inside.
Yeah.
And then level by sheet 1. It's introduction, then condition, loops, arrays, strings that goes up until the final questions for the tournament.
I see. So I see your point. Yeah, I see your point. So I think these are maybe the easiest to solve.
Yeah, yes, these are the easiest ones.
Okay, nice, nice.
Okay,
Multiplication.
1 second. I have a phone call. I'll be back.
Okay, no problem. Okay, so yani, this is excellent resource. We'll try to use it throughout this week. Hopefully we can.
Let's finish the introduction.
Yes. Let's finish today the loops and if conditions at least.
F strings.
No, this يعني we'll talk a little bit about string functions. But today actually I want to focus on if conditions, loops, counter, range, these things. Okay. And actually, I'm going to go back and forth to this, يعني, to this section today multiple times because I can't remember all of the functions. Okay.
So we take a break now.
Yeah, we can take a break. Let's take 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Yeah. Okay, let me actually pause the recording a little bit. Okay, we are back. Now we are going to start with the Python part. I think Sayed gave us excellent feedback and excellent resources. Alhamdulillah. Yani, we'll take a look at the website. This one, thejudge.net. I'm going to add it actually to the notes. You can take a look at it later. Okay. So now let me start with where we stopped actually last time. Last time we stopped at input. Okay. So I believe you saw the video.
It wasn't clear.
Wasn't clear. The sound, you mean? Unfortunately. Actually, I was using the Bluetooth.
I think that was fine.
I need to buy really.
I have a speak now.
Sure. Maybe we should.
Excellent.
Okay. Okay. Well, يعني, little by little, we'll improve the process, inshallah. Okay. Now, let me start actually by going to this section and clearing up my messy terminal and this file. Yeah, I'm going to use this file as a base. Actually, I can't remember what I was doing. Let me comment it. Maybe we'll use it later. Okay. Okay. So last time we were trying to capture user input and cast it. Okay. And, we mentioned that it is a very essential part of our flow. If we are doing any programming contest, we need to capture user input somewhere. Of course, we created a function, and I told you we need to use this library, basically, or the sys module. But for now, we are going to use the input function for simplicity's sake. Okay. So today, let us try to capture an input and split it. Okay, which is a very common use case. So what do I mean by that? One of the use cases, maybe we will get a list of inputs. Per line, there are multiple values. Per line, there are multiple values, and we need to capture them. So we can say user inputs, and we are now, what we are doing, we are declaring a variable, user input. And this user inputs is actually input from the user. And we expect user inputs to contain multiple values. Okay. So what we can do is that once we capture user input, we can say user inputs list, okay, which is a list of inputs, will equal user inputs splits dot splits. Okay. And once you call the split function, it will tell you what is the separator. Meaning, okay, you are giving me a list of inputs. What is the delimiter between each and every input? This can be any arbitrary character. Sometimes it can be a comma, it can be a space, it can be a dash, it can be anything. Okay, but most commonly it is a space. Okay, so in this case, I'm going to split it by space. And simply, once we reach this point, all I need to do is I want to print the user input list because I want to see what is happening in this case. Okay, And let us run this program by pressing the play button on top. Of course, it will give us an empty prompt. Now we can add, I want to add 1, 2, test, 5, 6. And I'm going to hit enter. In this case, it printed out a list, meaning that the split function will actually return a list of items. Okay, split return a list of items. And you can see this list of items is actually, it's a list of strings, because user input is actually a string. Split returns a list of strings. Okay,
User input
it's
is
actually,
a string.
yeah, because the input function returns a string. So if we,
Unless specified, it returns a string always.
unless we convert it, meaning that if I do this int, then I convert it.
So we have to specify if we want integer as well.
Yeah, of course, if we do it this way, it will throw an error. Because if I try to add integers, multiple integers, it will tell me 1 and test are not, I cannot cast it to integer. Okay? And the space by itself is a problem, actually. Okay? So we cannot do it this way. So what if I want to now, I captured the list of items. I want to convert them now into any data format. For example, as I told you, by default, it will always return a list of strings. It will always return a list of strings. What if actually these items are integers? Okay, then what is the solution? We need to count them one by one. Okay, this is where we come to the interesting part. We have loops. Okay, so we are now a little bit going in unstructured way. Okay, I'm supposed to cover lists first. Okay, finish it, then move to loops, for example. But in this case, I find them to be very connected. So when you have a list, it is very natural that you want to do a loop over. Okay. Otherwise, why do you need a list? Okay. So when you have a list of items, usually you want to perform some kind of operation on it. That means each and every item will be manipulated somehow. Okay. So that's why I'm going to teach them both together at the same time. So in this case, once we capture the user input list, what we can do is create a loop. Okay. And in Python, it's very easy. We can start a loop by saying for item in user inputs list. As simple as that. Yeah. So it's like English. For each item in the user input list, please do the following. What is the following? And you can see now, what did I do? I added 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. This is how Python, sorry. This is how Python handles scoping. So remember in the training session, the one we gave in KTech, I told you we are using curly brackets to say that this code starts from here and ends here in C++. Right? In Python, they don't have that. They have indentation. Indentation meaning that you add either 4 spaces or a tab. Whichever you want, you can use the tab, you can use 4 spaces, up to you. 4 spaces or 2 spaces. Okay? But once you use something, stick to it. For me, I prefer to use tab. You can, of course, if the code is nested too much, actually using 2 spaces might be better. That means if you have if condition inside the function, inside loop, inside, okay, it might get, with tab, it might be a little bit harder to track it. At any rate, for now, tab is okay. So if I try to print the item in this case, okay, and actually move this because it will keep bugging us. Here maybe. Okay. So if I try to run this program, what do you think it will print? Of course, let me actually,
Okay, it should be.
yeah, let me give it the input. Okay, 1, 2, and test. What do you think this print will print?
Nothing.
Nothing? It is looping inside this list. I'm going to give it items. The input is not empty. If the input is empty, yes, it will print nothing.
So the input.
The input is considered this, what I typed here in the console.
Yeah, it's the item.
Yes, yes. It will
It's gonna
print.
produce the same.
Yeah, but in what way? Is it next to each other, under each other?
Same with spaces.
No, actually, it is good to know that print actually will print each and every item in a separate line. Okay, and there is a way to fix this behavior or modify this behavior. So if I type enter, print it 1, 2, and test each and every item in a separate line. Now, if you notice, there is actually a separator for the print. Okay. Again, this is IntelliSense, we call it IntelliSense, and this is provided by the extension. Okay. You can see that there is something called end. Okay. Meaning that once you print this item, please end with this string. Okay. And how can I use this end? I can just type end, okay, and say, sorry, int equals empty string. In this case, instead of the new line character, which is added by default, so print by default adds a new line character, /int. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So if I run this program now, it will produce 1, 2, and test. It will give us the same output. Okay. Because this is actually the default value. And you can see in the documentation here, it's saying, by the way, print, if I go to the source code, it is by default, the end is what? If it's none, that means I didn't specify it. By default, it is actually /n. Okay. So in this case, what we can say, if we want to modify this behavior, I don't want to print each and every item in. I can simply say, do this. So if I do empty, if I do this, what do you think it will print?
Next line.
Same.
It's the normal behavior. But you defined it.
I defined it as empty. It's not none.
Uh,
None is not empty. Okay. None, by the way, is similar to null in C++. Okay. But in this case, I didn't specify it as none. I specified it as empty. So in this case, what do you think it will print? We know it will print 1, 2, and test, but in what way? Same. Okay, but how? Will it be this way exactly, or it will be something different? Sure. Okay, let's try. Let's try. 1, 2, and test. You'll be surprised that actually, sorry, I didn't save. Okay. You'll be surprised that it will print it in.
There's no space.
Because there is no space. It will print it as one. And this is very useful. This is very useful. We want to produce an output that is a combination of letters. Then we can use this one. We can do it this way. Okay. But if I actually provide a space and run the program again, 1, 2, and test, we can see that it gave us the same output, but there is some special character in the end. I'm not sure what is the story of this. I think this is from the prompt. Okay. You can see it at the end here. But anyway, so this is how to capture an input from the user and how to loop over it. okay, capturing the input from the user with multiple values. We can use split, and once we split, we can use the for loop to loop over it. Ah, tell me.
There's a error 96.
Okay. There is, you need to end this line with colon. Without this colon, it will not work. Okay, once you add the colon, it should execute properly. Okay. So this is very common in the programming context, that you need to capture multiple inputs. Okay. Let's do actually something useful. Okay. Now, I'm going to stick to this example for a while, but instead of capturing input each and every time, I'm going to actually define the list now. So list items, I'll call it items, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, for example. And I'm going to perform some operations on these items now. Okay. One of the common things that you will do in the programming context is actually to reverse the list. And we have a very simple function for it in Python. Items dot, and you can see, yeah, we have append, remove, insert, reverse, and sort even. Okay. Count, and count itself will give you the number of items, reverse. So at any time, you can just define the list and hit dot and see what is the IntelliSense suggestion. Okay. This is a very neat way of what discovering by yourself what you can do with the list. Okay, and we have other data structures that we are going to cover, but I want to show you just the reverse for now. No, we will have access to it, of course, yeah, because we are going to use actually Visual Studio Code in the competition. The competition will have exactly the same setup, but I think maybe the prettier extension, yeah, the other utility extensions will not be, I'm not sure if they're going to be there, but I think the Python IntelliSense is going to be there. Okay, it is part of the IDE actually. Okay, we can double check with Ms. Rasha also, but the Visual Studio Code is there 100%. What kind of extensions are going to be there? Not sure. Okay, but I believe at least the Python extension needs to be there. Yeah. If we are using, for example, Eclipse, يعني by itself, yeah, it is the IntelliSense and the other magic that is provided by these, it's built in with Eclipse. So I think it's not fair for us to use Visual Studio Code as just a text editor. It needs to provide some added value. Okay. Anyway, if we use items.reverse and try to print the value this way, okay, we can expect that it will print what? Another list. Yeah. It will be another list, but exactly in reverse. Okay. Wait, where are we? Context. Sorry. I think there is something I missed. Reverse. It is printing none. Maybe it is. Sorry. You need to pass it the list itself. But I don't think it is. Is it something specific to Python 10 in this case? Okay, let's try again. Might be missing something. Oh, doesn't take any of them. The list. Ah, this will output our list with items they trigger. I don't think so, to be honest, but let's try anyway. Okay. Okay, there might be something related to the Python version. We're using 3.11, so it should be fine. Let me try something. Oh, it's actually. Okay, I might be missing something. Okay, anyway. There is actually even, I prepared a function, a ready-made function for reversing. I don't think so, no. It is, you can use this also. Okay, but I don't recommend it because it's not, how we can say it, not easy to read. Okay, if we do it this way, but you can get used to it, but I'm not sure really what's, this will reverse, okay. Basically,
Set the column.
yeah. Let's dissect this example. It's actually good that we that function did work, okay, for whatever reason. This is how we can manipulate our array, okay, by saying, for example, 0 and 2. This is basically like we are telling Python, please slice our array from index 0 to index 2. 0, by the way, arrays in Python are 0 based. Okay. So 0, then 1, then 2. So this should return the 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So let us run this example. Actually, 1 and 2. So 0 and 2 are sorry. 0. 1, 2, 0, 2. So this is not included. So 0 and 1. 2 items. Like saying 2. Return 2 items and start from index 0. Okay. So if you want to return 3 items, for example.
Okay, start from and then
Yeah.
return.
Yeah. So start from 0 and return 3 items. So if I say start from 1 and return 3 items, it will return
2, 3.
exactly. You can run it again. So it is actually from
Okay.
it's not include. It's not inclusive. Okay. So 1, 2. 1 and 2. Okay. Yeah. So actually, that's why I try to avoid to use this method, and that's why I prepared it in a function ready-made. Okay.
Function.
Yeah. So this way you don't have to deal with them. And the cheat sheets will help us in these things. Okay. So for example, we can return the last 5 items by using -5, for example. Okay. So let us return -2.
5 and 4.
Yeah. This way it will return what?
5.
5 and 4, hopefully. Okay. Then surprising us recently. Okay. So if I say 2, that means it will return by the same logic. 3 and 4 and 5. 3 and 4 and 5. So it skipped 1 and 2.
2 and later.
Yeah, 2 and later. And if you do this, it will copy the entire array. It will return a
Is
copy
that
of
a
the array.
semicolon?
This is the column, actually. If we say this way, that means copy this array and create another. Okay, it's a little bit confusing, I will not lie, but we have to get used to this syntax, and the cheat sheet is here to. So if we want, for example, copy, you can see, this is how we copy the list. This is, actually there are some even advanced behaviors. So if we add another column, it will return every second item. It will return one, it will skip one and return the other. Skip one and return the other. Okay, we can see it in action. Okay. So 1 and 2, it should return 2 and 4 in this case. It will skip 1, return 2. Skip 3, return 4. Skip 1, return 2. When will we need to use this kind of behavior? We don't know. But the example is there for us to guide us. And the cheat sheet is here in case we need it. Okay. Okay, so this is for list. I'm not going to dive too deep into list, but one more thing before I move on. Strings are lists of characters. I want to show you an example of that. So if we can say, if we can define a string, we'll call it test string, okay? And this test string will contain hello world. We can exactly perform the same kind of behavior. So in this case, if I run this program, it will again skip H, return A, skip L, return, and so on and so forth. Okay. So this is how we can confirm that actually strings share the same list function. Okay. So whatever we can perform on lists, we can perform on strings. So when this can be useful, for example, split will work the same, of course, here, split by space. Slicing, for example, give me from index 0 to, if I want to return hello alone, that means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? So from 0 to 5, this will return hello. Okay. And so on and so forth. Okay. Now, we talked about this. Let us also, another thing we performed on list, which is a loop. Let us do a loop here also. So we can say for char in test string, for example. Let me remove this. For char in test string, I can print each and every character. Okay, print char. If I run this, what do you think it will print? What the behavior?
بس characters. Characters المفروض H A L L O.
Okay, in what way?
Every letter in a new line.
That's exactly right. Okay. So if I want to print them next to each other.
And
Exactly. You're getting the hang of it. It is actually exactly the same.
space.
Same line.
بدون سم لا بس space double.
Are you sure? Sure?
لا راح يصير H بعدين space بعدين
Yeah. You don't need it.
Okay.
You don't need it actually. All you need to do is just I'm not sure about this character, but we can ignore it. If you add space, actually, it will separate each and every character. Yeah. And this might be actually required behavior. Okay. Now, before we dive into other data structures, I want to start with list because list, I believe it's the most used data structure. Now, and this for loop also, it's the most used format for looping over list of items. Okay. Now, what if we want to start now performing conditions on each and every character of this string? Meaning, I want to print only the vowels. I want to print only the vowels of this string. And I believe I prepared a constant here. Where was it? Here. Yeah, it's actually a function. Okay. Yeah, count vowels. Of course, we're going to recreate this, but our own way. Okay. And these are the vowels. Okay. So, if we want to print only the vowels, what we can do is, in the for loop, for character in the test string, what it will do, it will grab each and every character and print it. But in this case, I want to do a check. I want to check if this character exists, one of these vowels or not. Okay, so I can do this way. I want basically now we call them the control flow statement, which is the if condition in this case. It's one of the flow control statements. So if condition can be used this way. If char, if this character is in the vowel, in this case, we'll print it. Else, and then if we want to, actually we can do it this way only. This will print on the vowel. Yeah, that's it. If we want to do other thing for non-vowel character, exactly, we can use else or elif. So else or elif
multiple
for multiple conditions. Okay, for now, let us do this. And you can see it's very simple. This is a chart. It's like reading English.
if statements are easy.
Yeah, in Python, actually, they made our life very easy. If you want to implement this in C++, يعني, nothing complicated. Even in C Sharp, it's a bit ugly. So if char in vowels, that means this character exists in the vowels, please print it. If we clear and then run the program, you can see only E and O. Simple, right? And I think it's memorable even. It's easy to remember. If character is involved, then print it. Of course, here it's counting, okay? We can count also. Counting is very simple. We can define a counter here and start it with 0. That means we don't have any characters for now. Okay, I think we'll end with this. Okay, we'll end with this example. We'll stop here. We covered a lot of things. So let's end with this. So counter, we say that the counter is 0, and then the character is in vowels. Just basically, we're going to increment the count. Plus. Increment. Okay. I think they don't have plus here. We can say
+1.
exactly, plus equal 1. And then in the end, I can print the counter. And in this way, we re-implemented this function our own way. Count valves, right? Count valves. This is the
Same output, but in a different.
yeah, in a different way. This is how we count valves. If I run it, it's telling me actually there are 3, which is not correct, right? There are only 2. No,
Oh,
no,
2
actually,
O's, 2
yeah,
O's.
2 O's, yeah.
شلون الشكل؟ Fine. No, no.
Yeah, it's fine, it's fine. Okay. So this is it, really. Now, for if we can let's cover this before we conclude the session. If we want to do another if statement, we can say elif. So elif. In this case, we don't have any other case actually. For us, we don't care about other cases. We can say else, and then colon again. We can say none found x0, for example, and you can increment that. Okay. For example, okay, plus equal. If you run it, so basically 3 and 8, the total count this string should be the combination of 3. And of course, we can skip the spaces. So this is the elif.
Oh, okay.
This is a good example. Okay. So elif car equals empty space. Don't count it. Okay. Or does not equal. So in this case, only else. Then if car does not equal empty space, then count it as a vowel. Okay? Because we don't want to count spaces. We want to count only characters. So if it's a character that's a vowel, then it is what counted. If it's a space, it's not a character. It's just a space, right? So avoid counting empty spaces. So this way it will return 3 and 7, right? So let us clear and print again. And this is actually the correct total number of characters. Okay. And we can, by the way, there's another way to print the length or the list by calling print. Then there is a function called length, then, which will give us the length of this string. Okay.
Including space.
Including space, yeah. Which is 11. 8 plus 3 is 11. Right? 3 plus 7 is 10.
So what's space?
Yeah. So, and this, the same way, the same length function can work also for what? Lists. Right? So if I run this now, it will print 3 also. So they are the same data structure. They have the same data structure. Okay, I think we covered. I don't want to overload. I want each and every segment to focus on certain concepts. Okay. This is by no means a small area of Python. This is it's at the core of solving problems. Actually. So we need to learn all the ins and outs of lists, manipulating lists, because And string manipulation is all around list. We learn how to manipulate strings properly. Okay. We saw there's a problem with reverse. Until now, I'm not sure what is the problem with reverse, to be honest. It is actually, it says here, it returns none. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I think it reverse the list, but we already tried that, right? We already said L equals. We didn't? Okay, let's try it then. Yeah, it's still returning. So there is, I think it works the same way as link. So we need to call it separately. Ah, we need, wait.
Can you do print?
I want to solve this mystery before we we move on to something else, because this is the only thing we are stuck on. You created this. Ah, okay. L equals, again, 1, 2, 3. L dot reverse, and then print L. I think this is what we were missing. It doesn't return anything because it manipulates the original list. Okay. So after you reverse,
Actually, did that the very first.
really? Yeah, yeah, this is the correct way. Okay, sometimes it happens. So it is actually reversing the list, but there is no output. It doesn't do an output because the output is actually the list itself. Okay, they call it an extension method. Okay, but with Python it's not clear what is an extension method and what is a method that will produce an external output.
That was logical.
Yeah. So this is how you do it actually. Or you can call it the other way, which is the confusing way, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can, if we do it this way and print again, it will unreverse it, right? So L 1, 2, 3. It's so this is not creating, it's creating a copy of it.
Copy of.
Yeah, so this is, yeah, so LR, and if you print LR, it will be actually the reverse list, the reverse list. Okay, so this is the difference, is that dot reverse, it is mutating the original list, while this, it's creating a copy.
We made a new.
Does it make sense? New variable.
A new variable. Hello.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's the connection? Oh, L. Okay.
You got it?
So see the L.
Yeah. So it's actually, yeah, it's not clear. This.
Yeah, this is logical.
Yeah. So so each one has a use case basically. You want to copy the list, that means you want to reverse it and make another copy of it. This is the way. Otherwise, what you need to do? Otherwise, you need to do LR equals L and then LR reverse. 2 steps. Or you can do it in one go this way, which is more compact. Optimization. Oh, by the way, this is completely fine. I don't think it will affect the performance that much. Okay, anyway, that's it for today. Thank you for joining us. I think we maybe passed the 1 hour mark. Yeah, it is. try to keep the session 1 hour, 1 hour. I think it's fair enough.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Thank you, Sayed. I don't know if Sayed is still with us. Sayed, are you there? Sayed? Okay, Sayed, I think he went to sleep. Allah يعطيه العافية. Okay. So thank you all and see you in the next session.